You and Chris are going to be in here talking about God knows what.
The podcast that begs the question, why? Ladies and gentlemen, you have started listening to an episode of The Retro Show. If you have not yet listened to this podcast, and you're looking for a podcast that's filled with excellence, I apologize.
We apologize in advance.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Retro Show. You can find out all about us at retroshow.net. But basically what we are is we are a podcast that is dedicated to talking about growing up in the 70s and 80s. And the awesome time that we had doing that. So my name is Butch Renfro, and I am joined at the podcast microphone in the palatial and newly furnished Retro Show Studios by Mr.
Chris Curtis. I love these guys.
Yeah, they love you, man.
Hey, guys. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Bentley, the podcast general manager, who resembles a toy poodle, is attentively looking out the window, Chris.
We must have some groupies out there.
That or it's probably the cat next door. He's not a big fan.
Attaboy.
He's not a big fan of the cat next door. Here's the thing about cats. It's not that I have a problem so much with cats. It's people. Some people that own cats.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and give that caveat out there.
There's another word, man, that just.
But
do you have a thesaurus around here that you're looking this stuff up on?
Here's
caveat.
Caveat. I'm sorry, man. I'm using big words and stuff. I read the Reader's Digest. Enrich your word power.
That's something that's kind of gone away with modern technology. Reader's Digest.
Reader's Digest.
It was awesome.
Oh, I think they still do it, but
they do.
You don't see it everywhere like you used to. It used to be every waiting room that you ever went into had Reader's Digest, People Magazine,
Sports Illustrated,
and Sports Illustrated.
Yep.
That's what I was getting. So you had those three.
Yep.
And you had your three audiences covered there. You had, People Magazine for people who like that. You had guys covered with Sports Illustrated and Reader's Digest.
Pretty much covered everybody.
For everybody.
Yep.
Because they had all the humor stuff.
They did, and I always went to the humor. Humor and Uniform was probably
Humor and Uniform. Yeah. They had good stories from people who were serving our country. So, hey guys, the topic of today's show here on the Retro Show is foods that you hated as a kid. And I know that every one of you listening can think back to a time when you were served something that you didn't like. And what was the policy at your house?
You had to try it.
You had to try it.
You had to at least try it.
Yeah.
They didn't force my if y'all have seen me and the rest of my family, they didn't force you to eat nothing. Hell, you were lucky if you got seconds with my brother in the house. So you learned to eat fast so you could get seconds.
So you can get seconds. Yeah.
But no, they didn't force us to eat anything.
But
you had to try it.
My dad always cooked to excess, meaning what would normally feed. I mean, he would cook enough that would feed like.
I never missed a meal at your house.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was there,
they would ask you if you wanted to eat.
Absolutely.
Both of them.
Absolutely.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Sure, you don't want to eat.
Up until I was 35.
Oh yes, yes, I remember. But growing up at my house, there was one standoff I remember, and we're going to talk about that dish on my list in a little bit, and I'll get to it. But I remember Dad sent me down and said, "You're going to try this," and I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you're not getting up till you do it." And I sat there. I just sat there, and I wasn't going to do it. And finally, my mom came in and said, "Let him up," and because it was obvious that I wasn't going to do that. Now, my policy was kind of the same. It's like, give it a try. If you don't like it,
You don't have to.
You don't have to eat it.
Right.
But I'm not cooking anything else. You know,
Yeah.
you can get a bowl of cereal, or you can do
Which
something
was
else.
a good standby.
It was a good standby. But, you know, I didn't necessarily, you know, like everything that was thrown down. And my parents were fantastic cooks.
Yep.
But they like some things that to this day I just can't do. And matter of fact, I just thought of something else that's going on my list as I said that. Yeah, give me the pencil. So, but folks, here at the Retro Show, sometimes just do things on the fly. And This
Yep.
is what we're doing right now. So we're actually making those lists as we go. But foods you hated as a kid.
That's an untrue statement. My list was done. You added to your list.
I did. Well, I couldn't think of as many things. Apparently, you were a pickier eater.
Not really.
Yeah.
But the stuff I'm going to mention is just like people were like, yeah, I don't like that shit either.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. So, folks, listen, we're going to go and we're going to take a break for a short moment. And first, we're going to thank, during this break, all of our producers are going to be
Absolutely.
thanked.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it very, very much.
And then, you know, if Spotify wants to throw an ad in here, that might also happen too. So we're going to take a break, folks. We're going to be right back here talking about foods we hated as a kid. Hey, Chris, guess what?
What?
We got producers. Did you know that?
I know we got producers.
Yeah, these fantastic, lovely individuals have decided that they're going to support the podcast by committing to $3 a month. I mean, come on, man. You're not even going to miss $3, man.
You can't even buy bubble gum for $3.
Well, you can't. Well, you get that cheap, nasty kind. You know what I mean. It's really,
Yes, I
you know.
do.
It's not,
Flavor's gone in about 10 seconds.
yeah, it's not even the good bubble gum. But anyway, folks, here are the people that we have that support us. Brand new to our list is Kevin Goff.
Yep, Mr. Goff, thank you very much.
Yeah, and then LNC Corporation.
You don't mess with LNC
You do
Corporation.
not cross the LNC Corporation. Norton. And Chris B. Thank you, Chris B. Nancy Schwartz.
Nancy Schwartz.
Yeah. Who else is on there?
Nancy Schwartz.
Who else is on the list, man?
Josh Ramsey.
Thank you, Josh. Fran Adams.
E.M.
E.M. And
Bradford the Behemoth Mason.
Mason. Well, Behemoth Beast. Kind of the same thing.
It's not.
Oh, okay. And of course, our original sponsor, our original producer,
Number one in our hearts.
Tanya Highland.
Thank
Hey guys, you can go to retroshow.net, click support the podcast, and find out how you can be one of our fine producers.
Butch, what's this Van Halen symbol doing on this?
It's pretty. Hey folks, we are back on the Retro Show, and the topic of today is foods you hated as a kid. Now, I can't think of any kid our age that probably doesn't have a story to tell about something that their parents would serve on the regular that they just couldn't stand. And Chris, I'm going to let you kick us off, man. What's
Eggplant.
eggplant?
No.
Do you like it today?
No.
You don't like it today?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so my parents never made eggplant. Let me tell you my nightmare story that Debbie and I went through with eggplant.
Okay.
This is a family story. I'm letting family secrets out now. So my oldest sister for a while was married to a Middle Eastern man named Aziz. And Aziz was a great guy. And he would cook for us. And some of the stuff he made was really, really good. But he made this eggplant dish one time. And it was inedible. And I tried. I really did. And he tried to oh no, here, have more. And I'm like, no, man, I'm good. But yeah, I'm with you on the eggplant.
Yeah,
so
no eggplant for the kids.
I did have an eggplant dish that I didn't know what I was having later that apparently was prepared differently that wasn't half bad
Yeah. Well,
recently. But it's not something I'm going to go, oh, I see you have eggplant on the menu. May I
bring me
have
a double
3
por-
servings of
double
it? You know,
portion.
that's not going to happen.
here you go.
So
folks.
there you go.
Oh yeah, baby.
Now we can start podcasting. So one on my list is one that back in the day I couldn't stand. I mean, I would just no. I would turn my nose up at it, and there's actually a few on here like that. But today, man, I love it, and that's cabbage.
Oh, I love cabbage.
Oh, I hated it back in the
I
day.
always loved cabbage.
But now I have a egg roll in a bowl recipe that I make for us here that is just out of this world.
You need to pass that.
I will pass that along to you. But man, cabbage fried up with some sausage.
I tell you, I found these a recipe for cabbage steaks that you put in the oven. You ever had those?
No, but
yeah.
that sounds good.
You just cut it into like round steaks and then season
But
it up.
see, here's what I didn't understand as a kid is I equated cabbage to lettuce, to iceberg lettuce, because it looked the same.
Right.
And I knew I didn't like iceberg lettuce. And so I just never would try cabbage.
Do you still not eat iceberg lettuce?
I still don't eat iceberg lettuce. That's crunchy water to me. And I just, I can't.
Well, you wasn't putting enough salt on it.
Yeah. And so, well, listen, if you put enough anything, boil it till it's yellow and put cheese sauce on it. But,
Right.
But no, I still can't do iceberg lettuce. And I can do like a few field greens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can't do iceberg.
I get it.
Yeah. So what's next on your list, man?
Fried squash.
Fried squash. See, I didn't then, but I didn't hate it then.
It's a texture thing.
It's a texture
My
thing.
brother loves it.
Oh, Debbie will fight you for fried squash. She loves it. And so we got
And I really didn't eat squash until later in college. My friend Dan from down in Mississippi, I'd go over to his house at night.
Yeah.
We'd work on stuff or do whatever you do as college kids, but we were always cooking something.
Yeah.
And he had a little smoky grill is what it was called. It looked like two wash tubs on top of each other. You remember
Yeah,
those?
yeah, those little smoky, yes.
We'd always grill on that, and he grilled some squash and zucchini one time, and and I liked it. It's crunchy. It was
good. It had good texture then.
Yeah.
But yeah, fried squash, I actually kind of liked it. It wasn't my first choice, but pretty much if you deep fry anything, I'm going to give it a whirl.
Now is this deep? This is, I guess.
Oh, you're just talking about like the squash onions in a pan.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
See, now my dad didn't make it. He would deep fry the squash.
Well,
He
of
would
course he would.
of course he would. He deep fry. That man would deep fry a shoe. But yeah,
True story.
Yeah, true story. So the next one on my list, and is to this day, I still can't do it. As a matter of fact, okay, so liver and onions. Oh, listen, I know by the smell coming in the house, I ain't eating tonight. Because I ain't doing liver and onions. Now, I'm going to tell you one time, this is the cruel thing. There was a place in Little Rock that when I used to work at the television station down there, it was a little, it was an all-you-could-eat buffet. Did we ever go there together?
Yes. Yeah. Like down on the corner by the Federal Building.
By the Federal Building.
Yeah, I got a story about that.
And we went in there, and I thought it was Salisbury steak. It was not. It was liver and onions. And I took a bite of it, and I was like, I was almost just done for the day.
Yeah.
I was like, nope. It's like, there is no way, specifically beef liver, but I can't do chicken liver either. Any kind of liver.
It's not just a texture thing. It's a
minerally.
coat your mouth with.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's actually number one on my list.
Oh, it is?
Yes, and
and
I'm with you
can't
100%.
do. Yeah,
no.
and even to this day, it's like one of those things. It's like, and I have made it a point as an adult to maybe go back and try things that I didn't use. Nope. No, I can tell you right now, I'm not going. I didn't like it then, and it was such a violent reaction to it. But man,
my parents loved it.
Oh, my dad loved that stuff, man.
I don't know what the hell.
I don't think my mom did.
What
but
the hell that generation got out of it.
Listen.
My mom and dad both loved it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that generational thing, and I think it's. My parents were born in 1933, and both of my parents came from very humble backgrounds.
Yep.
My mom literally was born into a sharecropper's family.
Yeah.
On a dirt floor shack.
Right.
So they ate whatever they could.
Right.
And what's that saying is that hunger is the best gravy.
Yes.
And you're going to eat whatever you get put in front of you.
My mom was born in 41, I think. Either 41 or 42. Dad was born in 40. I know that for sure. But Mom grew up on the farm. I mean, our dad was a farmer. So they ate. That's where the damn eggplant. My grandma had a hellacious garden. And most of the stuff that came out of there was great.
Yeah.
But I didn't want no damn
eggplant. No eggplant or fried squash. Nope. You guys can keep that. So what else do you have there?
So the next one's kind of weird. but there's a reason behind it. And the next two, it's the same reason. Roast beef. Roast beef growing up, my mom believed that it needed to be killed again, and it was cooked to death.
Which you can't do with beef.
Yeah, no. And
No.
for years, I don't want any roast. Oh my God, we're having roast beef. No. So I ate carrots, potatoes.
Yeah, but you wouldn't eat the roast.
I didn't like the roast.
Yeah.
But now, I eat roast.
Okay, so there's a place called Bobby's. It's in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And on
Home cooking.
on Thursdays they do roast beef.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've never had it,
No, I haven't.
dude, I'm telling you. It's like normally
It's out on Chenal, towards
Yeah,
Chenal, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
and it's like normally I wouldn't tell people like, hey, go get yourself some pot roast. But this is the best roast you've ever had. It is so well done. He does a great job on that. But yeah, I'm with you. Roast to me, growing up, it was kind of the same thing. My mom would overcook, and my mom was normally a great cook.
Right.
But it was that whole thing of you got to kill you don't want to get bugs or anything. So,
It's the
they
same
would cook
thing.
it to
I'm
death.
gonna go ahead and do the next one on my list because it's the same reason.
Yeah.
It was steak.
Steak.
You
Really?
it's the same thing, man. They'd cook
Yeah.
the crap out of it, and it was just like
Dad didn't. Dad would always grill ours to just perfection.
I know. And then the first time I was down at the Logans one night, and they had cooked a tenderloin.
Yeah.
Basically, Doc had cooked a tenderloin, and it was rare. And they were like, "You want to try this?" And I was like, "I don't normally eat steak." I said, "Well, just try it. See
Yeah.
if you like this." And dude, that was
Yeah.
As soon as I had that, I was like, "Oh, shit, this is awesome."
That's how you're supposed to do it, huh? Yeah.
And from then on,
Yeah.
I will not order in a lot of restaurants. It depends on the restaurant. I won't order rare.
Yeah.
I will order medium rare. There's only a few. Outback, I'll order a rare. They cook it right.
Yeah.
And then some of the high-end steakhouses that get
Debbie
rare
and I
stuff.
have like I said, we're divided by denominational differences on our steak. She likes hers closer to well done, which is to me running a steak.
Yeah, it's done.
And then, with me, I described one time someone asked, well, how do you want your steak? I said, rare. I said, well, how rare? I said, put it in the shade, give it water, it might live.
That's
That rare.
Yeah,
Basically what I want are grill marks on the outside and give it to me.
yeah.
That's
My favorite question and favorite response at a steakhouse. Would you like steak sauce, or do you need steak sauce? I hope not.
I hope not. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story. So Debbie and I go eat at a local establishment here. I'm not going to say who it is. But I had been just craving a steak. Well, first of all, it took like an hour after we ordered for the food to get there. And not only was it not rare, it was like gray all the way through and tough. And I called the manager over and I said, these are not grill marks. This is where the jockey was beating that nag to get it across the finish line. Get me a steak and do it the way I asked for it. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. They comped us and everything. But it was still, it's like, we haven't
When
been
you're
back
paying
since.
that much money for
Yeah.
a meal, I generally don't spend a ton of money at dinner. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
when you go to a nice steakhouse, you're going to drop $40, $45 on a steak dinner
Yeah.
a piece.
Yes.
And for me, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
And by God, it's going to be right.
It's going to be right. If I'm spending that kind of money, you're
Yes.
bringing me something that I want to eat. So next on my list, and this is going to sound weird because it's not that way now, but I was a picky kid and Mexican corn. And this is the thing that Dad sat me down and would not let me eat until I tried it.
Was it Mexican corn?
Is Mexican corn.
Really?
Yeah, because it had the peppers in it, and they were weird colors, and it was green, and I knew I didn't like bell peppers, so no, and so it was just a standoff. And now I'll eat it. It's good stuff, and that's just one thing that I just wouldn't do. is the Mexican corn.
He's writing more stuff.
I'm writing more stuff as stuff comes to my memory. I'm dredging up childhood trauma for you people is what I'm doing, okay? So what's next on your list?
Beets.
Beets. It's on my list too. So
do
we might as well both talk
I
about
can't,
that.
I can't do beets. Period.
Okay,
I
that's
can't
an
do
old
them today.
that's an old people food.
I get it. Same with eggplant.
It's an old people food. As a matter of fact, my dad got mad one time because he had
I remember all the canned beets.
He bought canned stuff in bulk. When it was on sale, he would buy stuff just to store it. And he would always say, hey, why don't you take some canned stuff home before it gets out of date and stuff? And he tried to get some beets, and Debbie said, no, we don't do beets. He said, well, beets are great. And she goes, no, that's old people food. No, well, they sure are selling a lot of it. And so he said, well, they sure are selling a lot of it. And she goes, yeah, to old people. And she's right.
Walking into his little palatial gunsmithing studio out there, and had the big shelves out there, and it was just stacked full. And I'm just looking at like cans and cans and cans of beets, and I'm like, oh my God, please no. No.
I'm just going to tell you, if it's to the point where I'm eating canned beets, I'm close to starvation.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to hunt and kill or catch anything.
Did you ever hear that as a kid?
What's that?
Dad, I don't want to eat that. Well, you ain't hungry enough.
Yeah.
You ain't hungry enough. If you was hungry, you'd eat it.
Well, I'm sure, but are you saying I need to starve? It's But yeah, beets. I'm right there with you. It's also on my list, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you another one here, and that's raw onion.
I disagree with you on that one, but that's
a thing. To me, it's a texture thing.
Still to this day, you don't eat raw onions?
I won't do raw onions. The closest thing I will do are the tiny minced onions on a McDonald's cheeseburger.
I don't even think those are real onions.
They're tiny, but it's a texture thing, not a flavor thing, because I love onion flavor.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'll eat onions all day if I have sautéed them.
Yes.
But man, to this day, I can't do raw onions.
It's not something that I eat like on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get into some of the purple onions, the sweeter onions, and they're not hot, they call hot, which means they're really strong. They're not hot. They don't burn you. They just say, oh, that onion's hot. I'll eat it. When I'm eating catfish, I'll eat some.
Oh yeah, some purple onion. Yeah. I still can't.
Well,
but that's great. But man, I will saute them up all day.
Yeah. That's a requirement. You got to saute the onions.
But that's what I used to not like meatloaf as a kid because my parents wouldn't pre-cook any vegetables. They just threw them in the meatloaf. Bell peppers, chop them up, throw them in a meatloaf. Onions, chop them up. Well, they wouldn't cook. They got hot when the meatloaf cooked, but they wouldn't get soft or anything like that. So I thought I hated meatloaf. No, what I hated was raw onion and big bell pepper chunks in the meatloaf. I have since gotten to where, you know what? Chop me up some bell pepper, chop me up some onion, put a little celery in there, and I'm going to make a roux, and we're going to do, Whatever. But no, I still can't do raw onion. I can't do raw bell pepper. It's just a deal breaker. So
I love them both.
Yeah.
But I don't like those vegetable trays you can get now that's got the little bitty bell peppers. They're different colors. They'll be like red, yellow, orange.
Yeah, you're all over that.
Oh, man, I'll tear them up.
Get you some hummus with that.
What?
You don't like hummus?
What?
Hummus?
I'm not a hummus guy.
You don't like hummus? I love hummus, man.
No.
It's good stuff. It's just chopped up beans, man.
I'm in the medical field, man. It just looks like somebody's pureed lunch.
Well, maybe I don't like it now either. Thanks for that. Okay, so let me tell you one that I would not eat as a kid in any situation now, and I probably eat 7 or 8 of them a week now. And that's
really?
Eggs.
I love eggs.
Oh, I make pickled eggs all the time. I scramble them, I'll fry them, I'll eat them. I eat an egg every morning.
Speaking of which, that is one of the fringe benefits of here at the Retro Show. As soon as we get through recording, I will have one of Butch's pickled eggs.
Yes. But man, as a kid, I wouldn't eat them. And I don't know what it was. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe I was scarred by the story of Humpty Dumpty. I have no idea. But I wouldn't eat eggs in any form until I was probably in my teens. And matter of fact, I think it was. And the only thing to eat on like a church youth trip was an Egg McMuffin one morning because they just bought a bunch of Egg McMuffins and passed them out. And I was hungry and I ate it. And I went, you know what? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I love it.
And so
that's
now
my favorite. That's really the only thing I'll eat at McDonald's. Period.
Yeah, Egg McMuffins are great.
They're great.
They're fantastic. I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for their just regular cheeseburgers, not quarter pounders or anything like that. Just old school cheeseburgers.
I just try to stay away from McDonald's. I try to stay away from all fast food now. I do. But yeah, you're right.
You know
that and damn fillet of fish.
You know what? That is.
I love the
those are
fish.
So good.
They really are good.
They are really good, and there's like a lot of fish in them.
Yeah.
So you can trick yourself. Oh, I'm eating
healthy.
Oh, it's deep fried. Yeah, it's deep fried with a bunch of batter around it or breading, but it's
and cheese and tartar sauce.
And tartar sauce.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but it's healthy because it's fish.
That's right.
So you got anything else on your list, man?
Asparagus.
Asparagus? Do you still not like
No.
it? I love asparagus.
A lot of people do.
I love it.
You know, and I get it. There's a lot of things I like that I know people don't. That don't eat, but I just can't. I can't. It just don't. It doesn't. It just does not do anything.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. When you tried it, was it like fresh grilled asparagus, or was it like canned?
It was whatever mom. However,
it was canned asparagus then, right?
No, I think she did fresh, but she would saute it or something. I did.
Yeah. See,
it's a flavor, and I just don't like the flavor.
Okay, so here's why I'm not a marketing genius, because here would be my marketing pitch for asparagus. Okay,
I know where this is going.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's my marketing pitch. This is what you hear the announcer saying when he's pitching asparagus. Asparagus. So 2 hours later, you can go, oh yeah, I had asparagus.
Told you I knew where this is going.
But yeah, asparagus is one of those foods that I also wouldn't eat as a kid because the canned asparagus is slimy. And it's just soft and gushy and nasty, and but I have found that asparagus is also one of the few green things that both of my sons will eat.
That's cool. I mean,
and
like I said, there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
love it. I mean, there's a lot of people in my family that love it.
Yeah.
But I just can't do it.
One that I used to hate and really like now, and some people still don't like it, is Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Cabbage.
It's cabbage.
Baby cabbage.
It is. It's baby cabbage. But dude, I had one time. It was like you brown the bottom in a cast iron skillet, and then you throw balsamic vinegar and bacon and stick it in the oven for a little bit to let it finish cooking off there. Oh my gosh, dude,
it's really good.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite green things to eat.
But see, I'll just go to the local store and go to the freezer section and buy those microwave bags.
With the stuff in it?
No, just Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I don't want the seasoned ones. I'll do
you
my
just
own
get
basic Brussels sprouts. Throw those in the microwave.
Balsamic on those.
I'll just eat them. Salt.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Just I love them. I love that.
Yeah, they're good.
I just thought of something else.
What's that?
That as a kid, my dad loved, and it made a lot of daggum fishing trips, but canned sardines,
Okay.
and not until this day,
Let me tell you where.
Now, have you ever had kipper?
Yes,
snacks.
kipper
Now, I
snacks
like
are good. Kipper snacks are good. Kipper and herring. Okay, so let me go ahead and just tell you, and then if you don't like them, you can bring them to me. The reason you didn't like the sardines, they were those big giant sardine fillets, right? That they would put in there. Because my
they
dad
ain't even filleted, dude. They're just dead gum. I got scales on them. Everything.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That.
Get the little brizzlings.
I ain't buying them.
They're tiny.
Don't expect any from me because I ain't buying.
All right. Well, the little brizzling sardines don't taste like them big, nasty, cheap ones, and they're really good. But anyway,
And
if
he'd
you
eat
like
them
kicker-
any way they'd come. In mustard
Yeah.
sauce, in hot sauce, in
But always got to have the saltines with
in
it. though.
gravy. Yeah, dude, gross.
Okay.
Nasty.
So here's something that I used to like as a kid that I can't really do anymore. Vienna sausages.
Yeah, I've eaten a ton of those.
Yeah.
And I can't eat them.
I can't do it anymore.
But you throw a can of chili weenies in there?
Dude. Okay, so do you remember when we lived in college over there,
Oh, yeah.
and you and Jay took you to Sam's?
Yes.
And you came back, and one of the things we had was a bunch of individual beanie weenies.
Yeah, beanie weenie,
and
chili
we
weenies.
tore those things. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Sure. That's when Sam's kind of first opened.
Yeah, I know. And you could. It's like he probably paid $1.50
Yep.
for 48. 64 cans of beanie weenies, and we ate those chili beanie
We
weenies.
ate good in the neighborhood.
We ate good in the neighborhood, and you had the gardenia,
Yes.
the bottle of gardenia.
Man, I love that stuff.
That stuff is good. I like a lot of pickled stuff now. I didn't back then, but I do now. One last thing that's on my list, and it's still true to this day. Now, you cook them, and I love them. And you don't have to cook them much, and I love them. That's tomatoes. I can't do raw tomato, and I've tried.
Even like in like now.
Even now.
We're in deep August, and you can't.
I can't do raw tomatoes.
Really?
The closest now, I don't have to cook them a lot, but like I've got tomato plants out here. I'll get those little cherry tomatoes, and I'll throw them in the air fryer for a little bit, and heat them up. I guess to get those sugars converted a little bit.
Yeah.
And man, I can eat them all day.
See, that's like summertime. Two things summertime that's a must for me. Actually, three. I'll just throw another one in there. Cantaloupe, fresh cantaloupe.
Oh, dude, I cannot do cantaloupe.
Watermelon.
I'll do watermelon.
And fresh tomatoes just sliced on a plate with salt on them and just eat them. I love them.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I absolutely love them. But I love cantaloupe.
Yeah.
I bought a half a cantaloupe. They've got that green thumb place.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome, isn't it?
They had a half a cantaloupe in there, and I told Seth, I'm going to buy this cantaloupe. She goes, nobody's going to eat that. I said, my God, I'm going to eat it.
I'm going to eat some cantaloupe.
They went shopping, and I pulled that out of the fridge. It was ice cold, and I didn't even slice it up. I just started eating it with a spoon. I ate the whole half a cantaloupe. I love it.
Man, I can't do cantaloupe, and I wish I could because I think it smells terrific.
Yeah.
But
Can you do honeydew melon?
I can't do honeydew. The only melon I like is watermelon.
Wow.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me, but
Well, no, it's,
You know,
I mean,
it's just taste
There's
is a-
stuff on here that I don't like that you like. I mean,
Yeah.
you secretly love beets.
no, I don't.
He's got a
I'm
heart
telling
around
you.
beets with a Van Halen symbol.
No, I don't. Little flowers and beets. No, let me tell you what I do like though, and this is the most redneck thing you're going to hear all day. Okay.
This is PG.
Huh? Yeah, it's PG. It's not. This is not deliverance redneck. This is just. Okay, I'm not talking that.
Hey.
Okay.
Ned Beatty had the hardest part.
And I'm just going to leave that right where it lays. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and tell you my favorite thing, the most redneck thing that I like today, is I like to get bologna. Okay.
Okay. I'm with you.
Thick cut.
You've got me at bologna.
And you got to do the little slice in it so
Yeah.
it doesn't like half, it doesn't
It
pooch
doesn't
up.
moon up.
But you got to fry it,
Yep.
throw it on white bread
Yep.
with yellow mustard. Done.
No,
Done.
it's undone. 'Cause
What?
You don't have a slice of American cheese on there.
You don't need it.
It does.
Yeah, well, I'm
For
not
me,
saying
it does.
wouldn't be
It
good,
does.
but
I had that a lot growing up as a kid. My
Yeah.
dad liked bologna, and
My dad loved it.
He would fry it just like that, make the cuts in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then throw a piece of cheese on top, and then throw it on there with yellow mustard. It was so good.
I'm not saying that wouldn't be fantastic. I'm just saying that if I'm just going to do something quick, even to this day, I'll
So-
buy some bologna just to do a fried
So what
bologna
he's
sandwich.
saying is, adding the cheese adds too much time.
It does. I don't have 3 seconds to spare. I have a
I'm
set
not-
lunchtime.
And I'm not talking about that stuff you unwrap that they call cheese. I'm talking you go get the butcher to slice.
So
you some
slice
cheese.
the real American
Yes.
cheese, not the
And
Kraft
hopefully
singles.
It's possibly Land O'Lakes yellow American cheese.
There
and
you
it's
go.
bad to the bone.
There you go. I'm giving you a fist bump on that one, man, because that's the good stuff. Hey, guys. Hey. Listen, we appreciate you. Hey. Listen. I'm not going to edit that out. That stays in. I'm just telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate all of you. Listen, if you'd like to find out more about this show, and why wouldn't you? RetroShow.net has all the information for all our socials, how you can call us and leave a voicemail, and how you can become a producer, and how you can take Chris out to eat. Well, I haven't put that in yet, but that's coming.
Pretty cheap.
Listen, love all of you. Like some of you.
AMF, guys.